Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I have a fun fold card to share. It's a pop-out gatefold card and I have made two versions, both using products from the 2020 mini catalogue, and one is perfect, as you can see, for Valentine's Day, and the other is a birthday card. And they're called pop-out gatefold because they have, when I've got the belly band off here, they are like a gatefold, like that, and then when you open them and then fold it back like that, you kind of get this sort of pop-out effect. And so the focal point is going to pop out and sit on the mantel shelf or the table, wherever the lucky recipient pops the card. So I am going to show you how to make the birthday version, but on my blog I will have the supplies and everything for both versions, so you'll be able to make both. So this is the birthday version, and with this one I'm using the Parisian Blossoms designer series paper, and it opens like this and it will sit like that. So let's make a start on what we need. So I'm using this piece of Pool Party, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 2 3/4, 5, 6 and 8 1/4. And we're going to put in the folds. Now the middle two, you're going to do a mountain fold, and you will need to use your bone folder for this one to get some nice crisp folds, and then it'll sit nicely. And then these two are going to be valley folds. Just make sure my edges are all lined up. And so there, it will fold like that, and then it pops out like that. So that's very, very simple and straightforward to do. So then we have panels, and I have done some pre-sticking and a little bit of stamping here, but I'm going to put, I'm just going to see which ones I put where. Right, so these are attached here, and so these are the petal pink, I think. Yes, petal pink, layered onto the Parisian Blossoms designer series paper. And then I have cut two white pieces, and I've stamped those. And this is the bit where you're going to write your message. And then there's a center piece here, and this is, I think this is like 4 by 3/4, and then the designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch. But as I say, all the measurements will be on my blog, and there's a link to that just below this video. So I'm just going to use liquid adhesive to stick my 4 panels down. And I like to use liquid rather than snail adhesive or tape, because it gives me some wiggle room. Right, that's that way. The reason I know it's that way is I've got this flower pointing upwards. So yes, it just gives me some wiggle room, and to make sure I've got all my margins nice and even. And I don't use a huge amount of this adhesive, just so she says, putting a huge great dollop on there. But let's take off, well, I'm going to spread it around a bit and then take off the excess with this little spatula on my pick your tool. Excuse me, I need to just wipe my fingers, otherwise everything will be sticking to it. Okay. So I'm just making sure that my layers all line up at the bottom as well as at the top. And let's see if I can do this bit right. I'm going to make a mess with this. There we go. So I squeeze, when I'm using that liquid glue, I squeeze gently, but I keep it moving, and then hopefully I don't get a big old blob like I just did. Now you will need to let it dry for a few moments because it obviously will carry on moving until the adhesive sets into the cardstock either side. But just a few moments and you're good. And so my other two panels, so this is the designer series paper. You can choose to whichever size it works for you. It's just I really love the combination of the petal pink with the pool party. You know, the papers that Stampin' Up does makes it so easy to work with colours that it's just so easy to make beautiful cards. Okay, so I'm going to pop this on this panel here like that. There we go, and the final piece is here. There we go. Okay, so there is all our panels working beautifully together. So inside we're going to have our lovely sort of happy birthday type feature here, and how I've done that is I'm using some pearlized doily, a pearlized doily, and I'm going to just swap over my tool. So I've got a piercing tool here, and I'm going to start by putting a couple of, well, I think I'm going to put 3 mini dimensionals down, and I'm putting them on that sort of spine that comes down the middle. That's the bit that's going to pop out. And then I'm going to place my doily on the top, centering it like that. So it's being held down. All right. And then I'm going to make a centerpiece, and I'm using the Label Me Lovely stamp punch rather. This is one that is also in the 2020 mini catalogue, and I punch myself out just a piece of white cardstock, and then I'm just going to bring a piece of paper in, and I'm going to be using the Pool Party and the Petal Pink ink pads for this. And the stamp set I've chosen to use is Layered with Kindness. And so there's the happy birthday. You could choose for my friend, that will fit into the punch as well. And we're going to be using the leaf and the little a little blossom here. And then this is the one that I used as well on the main writing panels of the card. So I'm going to start by using the leaves like that. I'm just going to position them. And this stamp set is a distinctive stamp set. So it's got it has different levels of colour, so it gives you the different shades and depths without you having to double stamp or anything like that. And then I'm just going to find neat little places to pop the petal like this. It looks kind of natural. There we go. Right, I think I'm done on that one. And then I'm going to just position it over the center of my doily, and the dimensionals are going to catch it right there and hold it in place. I also have got, it just says let's celebrate you, and I pre-stamped that, and it's just like a 1/2 inch piece of card, and I'm just going to cut the ends off like that and use a couple more of the mini dimensionals just to hold that in place. I think I might just use 3 so it doesn't sag in the middle. There we go. And again, I'm just going to center it up. And I've got some embellishments that I want to use. So I'm going to be using some of these gold metallic pearls. And I'm using gold because the ribbon I have chosen to use has lovely gold edges. I'm just going to pick up, this is the gold faceted gem, and I'm just going to pop that up there to give us a little bit of a focal point. So that's the inside of the card all done. So now we're going to close it up and do the belly band. Now this piece of cardstock is 11 by 3/4 of an inch, and you want to put the join in the front because it's going to be hidden by the decorative piece at the front. I'm just going to put my fold in. I haven't scored this deliberately because every single card is going to be slightly different in thickness, and so I just want to be able to put the lines in where the folds in where it fits this particular card. And as you can see, it doesn't quite meet in the middle to give us an overlap. So I've got an extra piece of card here. It's 3/4 by 2 inches, and I'm going to just attach it onto the belly band. Oh dear, sorry about that. Like that. That's enough, Daisy. Oops. And then I'm going to fold it round and put another couple of glue dots there. I'm sorry about my audience. I think somebody just walked past the front of the house and they're all affronted that somebody would dare to use our pathway. So there's the belly band all stuck in place like that, and it's quite firm, but it will still move. And then I have created the happy birthday, and what I've done here is I've just cut a piece of the cardstock with the punch, and then just cut it in half and then stuck it so that we've got a little border top and bottom. And I'm going to put my dimensionals onto the belly band like that. And just center it up nicely. I'm going to put another little pearl just there, and then I have made myself a bow with this really stunning metallic edge ribbon in the petal pink. So that was why I wanted to use other gold accents to just bring that out. And I do have a video on how I do my bows, and if you follow the link on my below this video to my blog, I will have a link for my videos on making my bows there. So there we are. I already stamped up my envelope, following the same colour scheme and just using the same stamps as I did on my card. And so here we are again. Here's the Valentine version. I hope you've enjoyed these. As I say, follow the link below and you'll be able to get the supplies and links to my online store. And I certainly appreciate it if you give a thumbs up on the video, and any comments that you care to leave, I'd certainly appreciate those as well. Well, thanks very much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.